The cold wind whispered through the ancient halls of the monastery, carrying with it the scent of aged parchment and candle wax. Brother Matthias, a scribe of many years, dipped his quill into the inkwell, pausing momentarily before committing the forbidden words to the manuscript before him. His hands trembled slightly, not from age but from the weight of the knowledge he was transcribing. The Book of Enoch was not meant to be read, let alone copied, but some secrets refused to remain buried. The history of the Book of Enoch was shrouded in mystery, controversy, and whispers of divine revelation. In its earliest days, it was revered by certain Jewish sects, particularly the Essenes, who stored copies among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The book claimed to be the writings of Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, who, according to the scriptures, had walked with God and was taken up to heaven without tasting death. His words detailed visions of the heavenly realms, the fall of the rebellious angels, and the fate of the wicked. Such knowledge was considered both enlightening and dangerous. As Christianity took root, the Book of Enoch found a peculiar place among early believers. Some church fathers, such as Tertullian, regarded it as an inspired text, citing its detailed prophecies about the coming of the Messiah. Yet others viewed it with suspicion, for it spoke of mysteries that conflicted with established doctrine. Its tales of celestial beings interfering with human affairs, of forbidden knowledge imparted to men, and of the coming judgment resonated too strongly with apocryphal and Gnostic traditions. It was a text that did not conform. The decision to ban the Book of Enoch did not come abruptly but rather as part of a gradual process. In the 4th century, when church councils began to define the canon of Scripture, Enoch was notably absent. The Council of Laodicea, in its effort to establish orthodox texts, excluded it from the official list of books to be read in churches. While some, like the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, preserved and cherished it, the book vanished from most Christian traditions. Why was it banned? The answer lay in its contents and the implications of its teachings. The Book of Enoch described a divine order that seemed to challenge the authority of both religious leaders and established doctrine. It spoke of angels who defied God, descended to earth, and shared forbidden knowledge with humans, leading to chaos and corruption. These fallen beings, known as the Watchers, took human wives, fathering the Nephilim, giants of great renown who wreaked havoc upon the world. This narrative aligned too closely with myths and legends that the Church sought to distance itself from. Moreover, the book's vivid depictions of heaven, judgment, and the afterlife presented theological difficulties. It offered a vision of multiple heavens, a detailed hierarchy of angels, and an elaborate eschatology that did not align with emerging Christian teachings. If accepted as scripture, it would challenge the authority of the Church's interpretation of divine revelation, creating fractures in the unity of doctrine. The fear of heresy played a crucial role in its suppression. By the time of the Middle Ages, any mention of the Book of Enoch was met with suspicion. The Church had taken a firm stance against texts deemed heretical or Gnostic in nature. The book was considered dangerous not just for what it contained but for what it represented, a challenge to the carefully constructed theological framework that had been established over centuries. Yet, the Book of Enoch did not completely disappear. Hidden away in remote monasteries and whispered about among scholars, it found refuge in Ethiopia, where it remained a part of the biblical canon. There, it was copied and revered, a testament to a different tradition that had not succumbed to the broader suppression. The Ethiopian Church held firm, believing that the book contained truths meant to be preserved. The Renaissance and the subsequent Enlightenment period brought renewed interest in ancient texts. When European explorers and scholars encountered the Ethiopian Orthodox Church's version of the Book of Enoch, they were astonished. The text, long thought lost, re-emerged, sending ripples through the academic and religious world. The discovery ignited debates. Was it truly the work of the biblical Enoch, or was it a later fabrication? Could its exclusion from the canon have been a mistake? As copies of the Book of Enoch began circulating once more, theologians, historians, and occultists alike pored over its pages, each drawing their own conclusions. Some saw it as a missing piece of biblical history, while others viewed it as a relic of a bygone era, best left in obscurity. Secret societies and esoteric groups found inspiration in its cryptic messages, adding to the aura of mystery surrounding it. The modern church, while acknowledging the Book of Enoch's historical significance, largely maintains its stance on exclusion. It is studied as an ancient text, referenced in theological discourse, but not regarded as scripture. The question remains, was it truly a forbidden revelation, or was its banning a means of controlling theological narratives? Brother Matthias knew that his work was dangerous. He had seen what happened to those who dared challenge the decrees of the church. But he also knew that knowledge, once written, had a way of surviving. With careful strokes, he finished copying the final passage, whispering a prayer for wisdom. He bound the manuscript and concealed it within the monastery's archives, uncertain of who would find it next or what they would do with its secrets. In the dim candlelight, the words glowed with an almost ethereal light, waiting for the day they would be read again.